we're going to look at how to do a scalloped edging for the bingo blanket. This is one of the options for a border to go around the blanket. So I just have a couple blocks here, but imagine that we had the whole thing done and we were just getting to the end of, for instance, the crochet chain join. So we have the yarn already attached, and we have a loop on our crochet hook. So now there are 24 stitches and 24 ridges to each of these blocks in theory. This particular block actually has 27 ridges, but we'll make do here. So we start out, there's basically double crochet stitches and slip stitches and a couple chain stitches that are used for this technique. So we're going to make 4 scallops on each block edge. So there's a block edge. So we'll start out by, yarn over and just doing a regular double crochet, but we're gonna skip across 2 edge bound off stitches here, and we're going to insert the needle through the front leg of the bound off stitch, draw the loop through, and then do our double crochet. So now we're going to do 6 more double crochets through that same leg in order to form our scallop. So here's number 2, 7 total. 3, whoops, forgot to do my yarn over. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're all going through that same loop. Okay, so now I've got my 7 double crochets that are through that same loop. And now I'm going to skip 2 more edge bound off stitches. So this is the first one. That's the one I went through. I'm going to skip this one, skip that one, then insert the needle through the front leg of the next one. I'm going to draw a loop through, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch to attach or anchor that scallop to the edge. Okay, so now I'm going to continue. So that I just finished my first scallop. So let's do the next scallop. So this is the stitch that we attach to. We're going to skip this one, and insert through for our double crochet through this 3rd stitch. So now we're going to just repeat and do the 7 double crochet stitches. This is number 2. I'm not the best crocheter, but hey, you don't need to be to do this kind of simple edge. I always tension with my left hand. I kind of wind the yarn like I do with my, for a knitting tension around my pinky, and then I weave it through my fingers. And that seems to work pretty well for crochet. I think I've got, you can count these pretty easily. You can see I've got 4 double crochets on there. I'm gonna go for my 5th, 6, 7. Crochet sure does eat up the yarn quick. Okay, and then here's my last 7th double crochet. Okay, and then so we attached here. We're gonna skip this stitch, skip that stitch, and insert through this stitch. Pull the yarn through. 2 stitches on the needle. So to do a slip, we're gonna just pull that right through, slip stitch attachment. And then we're gonna continue. Another scallop, our 3rd scallop. So skip, skip, attach. Do our first double crochet. And we're going to continue making the rest of the double crochets. So now using this attachment method with the chain stitch join uses up about a full skein, or about around 200 yards of yarn on the 6-block blanket, on the bingo blanket. But it's well worth it because it looks really nice when it's done. This is actually my favorite edging for this blanket because it's kind of fun to work. It's easy if you're not really a crocheter, like I am not. It's easy, and even if your tension isn't that great, it still looks really pretty. So, okay, so that's my 7 double crochets for the scallop, and then skip, skip, attach. So pull through a loop, make my slip stitch attachment, and I've got one more scallop to go. So let's see, skip, skip, insert into this stitch for my attachment point for this scallop. Then I'm going to do my 6 more double crochets. There's number 2. I'm going to insert my needle through the corner stitch and do a slip stitch here. And then I could just continue with the scallops, but I like to do a little decoration on the corner just to mark the corner. So I chain 3. So there's 1, 2, 3 chains. And then I slip stitch attach in the same corner stitch. And so that makes like a cute little kind of bump on the corner. This corner stitch is way too loose, but you can see I have like this nice little bump here. It's a little decorative. So now I'm going to go down, start working on the garter stitch edge. So I'm doing the same thing. So for in garter stitch, there's a ridge for every cast on or bound off stitch. So we're going to use the same attachment rate. And so I've finished my corner turn. I'm going to do now 7 double crochets at my next attachment point on the garter stitch edge. And so I'm going to skip the first ridge, skip the second ridge, and insert my hook through the 3rd ridge. And I'm going to do my my double crochets repeatedly through that garter stitch bump. Yarn over, here's our 7th. Now we need to do our slip stitch to finish this. So we went through this ridge, skip, skip, insert in this ridge, and pull through. Yarn over, start our next scallop, skip, skip, insert into this ridge. And then do 6 more double crochets. This will be the last one I'll do, and then we'll just take a look at what it looks like, including the corner turn. I'm not doing very well with my tension, but it'll be fine. So these bingo blankets are something that my mom and I collaborate on together. She does all the knitted blocks. My mom is now 90 years old, and she's keeps herself busy doing knitting and some other things. So, and then I do the crochet joins. I join them together and apply the border, like the scallop border. Okay, so we'll do our last slip stitch attachment, which we did after skipping 2 more ridges. Okay, so this is what that scalloped edge looks like. I think it looks pretty nice. Zoom out a little bit. And it adds a nice kind of decorative trim. And let's see, I'll turn it over for you so you can see the back. And it looks pretty good on the back too, as crochet generally does. So, okay, well, I hope that this is helpful and useful and that you try it out. And again, this is from the Bingo Blanket. You can find it on Ravelry or on my website, which is thenitwit.org. And happy knitting and crocheting.